All right, I think I'm live. And I say that because there's always a delay, and YouTube just changed something since last Friday in the interface up here where I click, and it looks a little bit different. So hopefully I'm live how I normally am. They're always changing something on here. First, they got rid of Google Hangouts a little while back, or I think they got rid of it. At least I can't find it anywhere. And then they're changing all of it where it says upload beta, streaming, and what's the other option here? I don't know. A bunch of options. I obviously don't do this full time, so it's hard for me to keep up with all this crap. But anyways, how's it going tonight, guys? It's Friday night. I'm on a little bit earlier than I have been the last few weeks. Not planning on staying on too long tonight because I have a busy weekend ahead of me and quite a bit of stuff to do still. So I'll hang out for a little bit and see what's going on. Richard Hughes, how's it going, man? Dog Dad, what's happening? How you doing? For all you dog people, by the way, go check out his channel. I know I've said this in the past, but I haven't seen him on here in a while. He's really into a good nutritional diet for your dogs, and I'd highly recommend it. What I need you to do, Dog Dad, is start up a goat channel because I have pet goats, so I need something to tell me what the best diet would be besides just eating natural weeds and grass, which probably actually the healthiest diet possible, right? But yeah, I do support your channel, man, and it's a really nice channel. I don't have dogs, but I can tell for anyone that does, there's a lot of information there. So yeah. Anyways, if you guys have any questions for me, think of them and put them in here tonight. I know you guys asked me a lot of questions throughout the week, and I don't mind answering them, but if you've got them and you ask them here, I think that's kind of cool because then other people can get the same answer. Because I do kind of have, some of the same questions that'll pop up here and there. I mean, not too much. Most of you guys are pretty smart, but there are some, continual questions I get that are kind of the same exact thing, Hey, M4 Johnny, how's it going? What's up, Jet? Richard Hughes has got a shoot tomorrow down in Florida. Actually, I've got a shoot to go to tomorrow, too, here in Michigan. So that'll be pretty cool. That's part of why my weekend's so busy. I've got to get all the rest of my lawns cut this weekend, a couple other odds and ends, and then I'm going to be going to a local shoot that's hosted by a friend of mine, and should be a good time. I'll see if anyone's got any cool guns there or whatnot and try to get some footage for the channel. Like I said, I know it's just going to be guys showing up and hanging out and shooting and whatnot. So Richard Hughes. No, I'm no relation to him at all. In fact, he's a much, much bigger NRA supporter than I am. So I don't think – oh, we could be related. That's right. Relatives often fight with each other about stuff, but no, I'm not related. What's happening, Tree Guy? How's it going, man? Tony Anthony, what's up? I'm doing good, man. How about you? Jet wants to know what kind of 7.62 ammo do I buy? Well, I assume you're talking 7.62 by 39, or are you talking 7.62 NATO? Because I'm actually kind of into both. And I'm into 7.62 by 54R. So, yeah. What type of ammo do I usually buy? Okay, 39. 7.62 by 39. I buy a lot of 7.16 that got Bastard says. That's funny. So usually, 7.62 by 54R, I generally always buy steel case. Now, I've bought some of the Yugoslavian surplus in the past, the M67 round, which is a nice brass cased military round. I like that stuff too. Normally for me, I have pretty good luck with Wolf Tula ammo. I usually shoot outside like on private property, so I don't really worry about whether it has a jacket on it or not. But if you're shooting in the range, I did a video not too long ago about the Tula ammo range-friendly ammo. I actually have some right here. This stuff's pretty cool. It's not that expensive. And this should satisfy any ranges that ban steel case. I want this stupid thing focused. I think what the problem is I'm not wearing my ball hat. For some reason, the camera wants to focus on my face. Okay. There we go. This range-friendly is good stuff. I've shot Golden Tiger in the past. Look, a lot of people love the Golden Tiger ammo, and it's great ammo in a way because it's got like a lacquered case. It's not going to rust. It has a sealed primer, so there's some good things about it. But I have found here and there on a couple guns with extremely tight chambers, where with that thick lacquer, it can kind of stick a little bit. And I've also had it kind of stick in the magazine. True story, I had some Golden Tiger ammo loaded up in a mag for like 4 or 5 years. Took it out to shoot it. The first round would not strip off. And I went to strip it off by hand, and I literally couldn't get the round out. I had to grab something like, I think I took another mag and just took the bottom and had to give it a good whack to get it to come out of there. And it was literally like over time, the sealant had kind of stuck to itself, which I wasn't happy about. So not ripping on that ammo. I know it's a lot of people's favorite, but it's kind of not my favorite, kind of for that reason alone. Because if something kind of gets sticky after a long time, not the best thing, right? Oh, geez, there's a bunch of people in here. I want to say hi to everyone because the most important reason why I do these streams is to hang out with you guys. So I always like to say hi and see who's in here hanging out, you know? Mike Sylvester, how's it going, man? Cole, what's happening, Cole? Now, Cole, I know the gun that you want to see, and I'm going to do a video on it really soon. I got it out, and I might even shoot it. So I've definitely not forgotten about you, man, because I want to do a video on that gun too. But I'm going to keep it a surprise for everyone else. That's one of the benefits of being a Patreon supporter, guys. I'll do a video for you on a gun if I have it or have access to it. And it's kind of a secret until it gets released in the public. Let's see here. JMS A460. How's it going, man? Nope, I am not prior service. Not at all. I have a lot of friends, though, that are. Definitely respect veterans, people who are currently enlisted, just not me. When I was that age, I wasn't all about it. Treyor, what's happening, Trey? And Cave Dave, how's it going, man? Did I miss anyone? Brastard, what's happening? So, yeah, I kind of like the Tula ammo, guys. I know it's cheap, but it works good. Someone else had an ammo question. Orion Fixer. What's happening, Orion? Did Ryan? No, I thought it was Orion. No, it's somebody else with the little blue logo. That's Orion Fixer's patented logo. So if you're there, Orion, pop in and say hi, man. Thanks, JMS. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all my subscribers, you know. I know I'm like a teeny channel on the scope of things, but hey, for what I am and who I am, I feel like I have a lot of subscribers, and I'm thankful that you guys stick with me and watch my videos. I really do. I appreciate it. Richard Heyer says, what's a good ammo for SETME 308? Well, Wolf ammo's good. Tula ammo's fine. Here's the thing. When you're shooting a SETME or a G3 type, it's going to count. There's Orion. Now you guys will see where I got mixed up from Richard Heyer. Look at their logos. They're the same color. Not many people run around with that blue generic logo. So anyways, so as far as the SETMEs go, now these have what's called a fluted chamber. You guys are probably kind of familiar. Your SETME C, let's just say, or your G3, HK G3, HK91, that has a tendency to abuse brass pretty good. So I'm not a reloader, but if you are a reloader, from what I understand, it's a lot of extra hassle and time that it takes to resize the brass, and sometimes you can't even do it at all. Some of you reloading guys know more about this than me, but it eats up brass pretty good. That's the moral of the story. So I like to shoot steel case in a roller gun, roller locker gun like that, or if it's a cheap brass milsurp. So let me get my workout here. I worked all day today, but I'm going to pick up this heavy box. This is good stuff. I got this about a year ago, but I think this Malaysian ammo is still around right now. So this is good ammo to shoot in your milsurps and whatnot. And yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's from Malaysia, mil-spec stuff. I've got this container here still sealed. I bought some of the smaller cans, open those up. So anything like that is good. And I kind of like to shoot a lot of like military surplus ammo or military style ammo, steel cased, etc. So that it's just cheaper. And the fact is, a lot of these guns were designed for it, right? So there's really a lot of times. Now look, don't get me wrong. Some milsurp guns are highly accurate guns. But in many cases, the tolerances on them aren't even tight enough to really appreciate a match grade ammo and stuff. So it just depends what kind of guns you're shooting. But when we're talking SATMEs or AKs and whatnot, usually just a steel case or a cheap military surplus brass, you know. Richard Hughes says you have a lot of quality subscribers. I really do, and I've said that more than once. And yeah, most of the people in here are pretty cool guys, and most of you guys know a lot more than I do. That's why I like hanging out on here. Richard Hires says steel ammo. Yeah, that would be the Tula or the Wolf. Yep. Let's see here. Somebody was asking me about Mike Sylvester wants to know, did I ever buy the Taurus 22? No, I did not buy that one, but I guess I'll break it here. So it's going to be next week when I do a video on it. I did buy another Taurus, guys. I did buy another modern Taurus, and I'm going to be doing some reviews on that and some compare and contrast to the G2C. A lot of people have liked my G2C videos. I still have some more G2C videos coming here, some more ideas, some videos that I think will be fun. And there is a new Taurus that's coming out. But you'll just have to wait just a little bit longer for the video, because I want to surprise you guys. Surprise you guys with a gun that you already probably know about, and you're not going to be too surprised. But you've never seen a Glock Shooter 79 review of it, so hopefully that in of itself will be a nice surprise, right? Yeah, I told you, Cole. I got your back. I got your back. I wasn't going to tell everyone else because I got to make it like it's a secret handshake thing where only certain people know. You know what I'm saying? So, Paul's here. How's it going, Paul? Nice to see you. Tony Anthony says he bought the G2C because of your videos. Hey, that's cool, man. I mean, if you like the gun, that's cool. If you hate it, then I'm sorry. I'm being honest with you guys about this gun, guys. So far, I still really like it. Am I a diehard Taurus fan? Not necessarily. In fact, this is funny. I don't know. I don't know if he's in here or not tonight, but if Mateo 674 pops in, he'll vouch for this. When I said, "Hey man, I'm gonna buy this Taurus for my channel." There's so many videos out here about it, and everyone says, you know, it's so good and this and that. Of course, some haters are always gonna hate. Some people hate it. I get that, but so many people really liked this gun. I'm like, man, I gotta get this gun and just see what all this hype's about. So for those of you that have seen my Taurus videos, my first video on this was G2C, new warranty, and is it worth the hype? And that's literally why I bought the gun. I did not have high expectations for it. I know in the past with their older version of this, one of the Millenniums, they had a recall on it. They've had problems. Taurus has not always made the best guns. Now, for a long period of time, they've made guns that have been great, and a lot of people have liked them. So I'm not trying to get into any of that, but they've had some problems, and I've never really been a big fan. I said, you know what? I'm just going to buy this stupid thing. Either A, to see what I'm missing, or B, to show all these guys that are lying and showing or whatever they're doing, because it sucks that you have to look at it that way, but so many people on YouTube are not are sponsored, you know, so are they just saying the gun's good because it really is, or because Taurus gave them a free gun, or because they gave them a free gun and gave them $1,000? I mean, who knows, right? It's not that I don't trust all these people on here, but you just never know. And you know, me being a small channel like this, I don't get any free guns, so I thought, well, I'll just buy this and just tell the people what's going on. And I was like, man, when this thing becomes a piece of crap and it dies on me like the first day and I start exposing how crappy it is, everyone's going to hate me, man. That's what I was telling my buddy. I'm like, but I don't care. I'm just going to do it anyways. Well, here's the deal. It hasn't done anything bad yet. So I'm going to keep doing reviews on it. They might happen to be positive reviews as a whole, but that's just because the gun hasn't messed up. Now, as you guys saw in my last video, these SIG P226 mags, look, tolerances are off is what Metgar says. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I put a video out last week on this. I tried to put at the very end, you know, a still image where Metgar actually came into my video and wanted to, you know, say a little bit about this. And they said, well, tolerances are off. Okay. And then I said, well, why don't you make a 20-round mag for the for the G2C. And I think I even said something like, because most of your sales of these are for the Tauruses, not probably for the SIGs right now. Because this is like one of the most popular guns in the country, like one of the most purchased, right? And they said they can't due to OEM agreements. So all I can say is this. The guns worked great. The 12-round mags that come with it have worked great. And I'm not having good luck with these 20-rounders. And I saw somebody ask me about the Pro Mag. Paul, yes, I have. And it's right here. Okay. And I need to post that video soon. When I was out doing some other shooting videos, I took a shooting video of this, and let's just say this, it wasn't the best. So I'll give you that much of a preview, but I will put a video out soon on this, okay? So yeah, so far here's where I'm at. And, you know, Metgar usually makes a good mag, okay? So I don't want to like throw them completely under the bus, because let's be fair, just because these SIG mags lock up inside of this gun does not mean that it's manufactured for the Taurus. Yes, I think, you know, the mag walls are obviously the same size. The grip frame here is the same size-ish, or else they wouldn't fit like they do. But I think it's a lot of us on YouTube and a lot of people saying, well, these are the Taurus G2C mags. Look, I want them to be. I'm trying this out. And Metgar is a good mag. And from what I understand, these function flawlessly in the SIG P226. And in some people's Tauruses, they do, okay? Orion's in here. I saw him pop in and say hi a minute ago. Orion and I were talking about this the other day. And what it comes down to is once in a while, a guy's 20-round mag will work in his Taurus. A lot of times it doesn't. Usually it's kind of what happened to me. First few rounds, jamming it up. Once you get so many out of there, then it starts to work again. But it's one of these situations where basically nobody's really offering us what we want right now. We want an 18 or 20 round or even 32 round mag that's actually made for this gun, right? But we kind of sort of can't, because we have a 12 round OEM mag. Look, never had one problem, like literally no problems yet, okay? I've shot this gun now over 1,000 rounds, some of it on camera, not all of it. I normally don't have anyone to go out to the range with me, nobody to film. It's hard for me to do all that. And I just have like kind of cheaper equipment, guys. So I literally run into problems where if my camera's rolling for too long, the battery dies or the memory card's full or just stupid stuff like that. So I would love to sit there someday, you know, and do, you know, just do 1,000 rounds in one sitting. But the you know, the shooting videos I do is kind of sort of about the, you know, I don't want to say the best I can do, but, you know, it's just kind of what it is right now. But, yeah, I've done a lot of shooting off of camera on this. Yeah, Richard uses a cell phone. You probably have a better phone than me. I definitely need to get a new battery. Next gun that comes out that I really want, I'm probably going to have to skip and get a new phone. And Jet's right. It's a lot of work to film. And, look, I don't do a lot of shooting just because I'm lazy. It's not that. I don't mind the work. It's just it costs a lot of money, guys, and I'm not rich, and, you know, it is what it is. And I don't really know how much shooting you guys even really want me to do, because there's other people that are going to shoot way better than me, and there's other shooting channels where you can sit there and just watch them, you know, shoot it up like crazy. So I think there's kind of like a role for everybody, and there's a lot of stuff that I really enjoy doing on here. Just, you know, a bunch of stuff I've been talking about. I love to talk about politics. I like to actually do detailed gun reviews. I like to hang out. I do like to do shooting videos. I'm a big shooter, always have been. It's just, look, like someone asked earlier, I'm not military. I don't have any kind of Navy SEAL background or Army Ranger. I'm not a cop. I've never been a cop. I'm not in the FBI or the CIA. And it seems like for some reason, maybe I'm wrong here, but it seems like that's where what YouTube likes to see of people doing the shoot 'em up and the tactical cool stuff. So I'll do more shooting on my channel as time goes on, probably, because I really do like to shoot. But I'm never going to be one of those tactical cool guys that You guys know what I'm saying, right? But as Mateo just said, I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express once. That's completely true, okay? I did stay there. And when Jet just said he gets less views on shooting videos, there you go. And it's like, you know, I mean, I don't know. You guys have seen me shoot. I don't look, I'm very safe when I shoot. That's not the problem. But I just stand there and just shoot. You know, I don't do this, and you know, I don't know. Not knocking the guys that do. I'm really not. But anyways, I've shot this gun quite a bit. No problems with it yet. Let's hope somebody someday will get a decent mag for it. But yeah, I have more shooting videos with this guy, and you guys probably aren't going to be happy because let's just say, besides the 12-round mags that come with it, problems. Okay. And I think I know what's going on real quick, and then I'll get off the Taurus mag thing because I'm going to put Michael Science to sleep. What's happening, Michael? What's happening, Explicit? I kind of do my little impressions sometimes. Francis P, how's it going, man? What's up? Nice to see you, buddy. But yeah, so anyways, you know what's going on. I don't care what anybody says. And look, this is completely gossip, hearsay, okay? I don't know this at all. But I've owned a lot of Metgar mags before. And check this out, okay? This here is a Metgar mag, which is the OEM mag for my Kel-Tec P380. You know, my pocket carry, just took it out of my pocket. That shiny finish, you guys know what I mean, right? If you've seen a Metgar mag, you know what I'm talking about. Now, if you look at these G2C mags, it's got that same exact finish on there. And if you go back and look at my last couple videos ago when I was talking about, you know, the failures in this, and Metgar said, look, we don't make a Taurus G2C mag because of OEM agreements. And I think the OEM agreement is staring us right in the face. Now, it doesn't say Metgar on here, but it doesn't have to, right? This could be a Metgar, and I actually think this is a Metgar mag. Many OEMs choose Metgar to make their mags for them. I don't know. I mean, this mag has quite a bit of wear, but it's the same type of finish. If I had to make a guess, okay, guys, like I'm not going to bet everything on it. I'm going to bet like $5 on this, all right? I think Metgar is making the mags for Taurus. That's why Metgar can't sell a Taurus G2C mag with the name Metgar, because they have a non-compete to not compete with the company that's their main customer. Again, I can't prove any of that. And sometimes, like with Kel-Tec, they put Metgar on the mag, okay? And then they put Kel-Tec on the base plate. So in this case, Taurus must have said, we don't want your name on there anywhere. If I had to guess. Okay, let me scroll back up here. I think I have some more questions. And look, I can do another stream if you guys have enough questions. This is good. Last time I did Q&A, like one person had a question. They said, like, what was the question? I think it was like a Ryan Fixer. One of those guys came in and said, who am I? Why am I here? What's the purpose of life? And I said, That's all I have to say about that. And that was the end of the Q&A. But if you guys have questions, which it seems like you do, then we can keep doing that. And I can talk about why we shouldn't have politics in our rights the second half or next stream, because I'm kind of getting sick and tired of politics. Like, I'm literally sick and tired of politics. Why is water wet? I don't know. Why are there stars in the sky? Why do people try to... Never mind. I'm not even going to say that. Okay, I will tell you this, Explicit, and real quick, back to the G2C mags. Okay, guys, change of plans. There's going to be two primary focuses for the Glock Shooter 79 channel. Focus number one is going to be, no, not this. Focus number one is, I've been studying around YouTube lately, and the channels with the most subscribers, okay, who are making so much money they don't even have to cut grass, are into like the cosmetics and the beauty side of things. So the primary focus of the channel going forward is going to be nail products, okay? nail products and, male hygiene. So we're going to start off, by introducing the file, okay? So, we have a file. All right. Now, look, I don't want to give it all away right now, but next stream, we're going to talk about this guy right here. I have to find out what it is first. So the primary focus of the channel is going to be, nail and, personal, feminine man hygiene products. But besides that, I'm just going to become the Taurus G2C magazine channel, because as soon as I keep talking about them, there's like a million things to talk about. Okay. With that said, I don't know if I'm going to have enough resolution or focus. Yeah, girly man hygiene, just like all of these, we see them all the time. All these milk toast guys that run around acting like they're tough. All right. Let's see if this will focus. Okay. The Metgar mag. I think we can see it right here in the camera. Clearly has a wider mag catch. Okay. The little slot for the mag catch, clearly wider. Yeah, metrosexual. Now, don't make me go get my hipster wig and beard, because those of you that have been subbed for like about a year or so, I've been known to get it out before. Okay, let's go from this angle here and see if there's any way it'll pick it up. Clearly a wider slot, okay? So that could be some of the issue. And this could be back to those tolerances, so. Gonna try to find out why this is malfunctioning, okay? And I'm gonna try to see if I can. If I have to, I'll just try to make my own mag for this. But hopefully, I don't have to go that far. And if I do, well, I guess you guys will never see me again, because I'll be so rich, right? No, I don't want to be rich. Actually, I found usually most of the rich people I know are the most miserable. Actually, you guys ever notice that? So, this is why I stick to doing mainly gun stuff on here, because most of it's demonetized, and even if it is monetized, it's like in the lowest possible bracket. And yeah, so that's why I figured I'll stick with the gun stuff. So there's no way I could ever get rich, and hey, I'll stay happier that way. Francis says I should hire Francis for a consultant here. He says, put that girl in your last video in more often and your channel will blow up. Now, she's pretty nice, dude. I don't think she's going to blow anybody up. I mean, she's got me teaching her, so I doubt we're going to blow up. But I appreciate the concern. Mike Sylvester, Grooming 101. There you go. Oh, yeah, there's little scissors and stuff. I got this from buying an Olight. And I do actually use the nail clippers. That's one thing I do use. This, I don't even know what the hell this is. So I'll have to ask somebody I know what this is. My wife will tell me, or maybe my daughter. Somebody will know. But I know if I knew how to use this properly and made videos with it, yeah, channel would definitely blow up. Okay. Matt Morrison, how's it going, man? I don't know if I saw you earlier. Stamped SKS. I'm definitely going to do videos on those soon. I have a couple of those. What's it worth? I don't know, man. It just depends. It's kind of wild, the market on those. Not a lot of people even know they exist. A true stamped sheet metal receiver, riveted. Let me think about that, because I do have two of them, and I paid vastly different prices for them. They're kind of hard to find, so. Do you have one, or are you just curious? Yeah, Explicit said definitely a Metgar. I know you guys were asking me some questions here. Am I going to Creator Summit in September? I really want to, man. I'm hoping I can get my work schedule caught up. When do I need to let you guys know by? Tell me what my deadline is. And it's not just because I'm a procrastinator. It's because I'm just that busy. But I would like to. I really do. I've been telling a buddy of mine that for a while. I would like to go. I don't really go many places. Francis. No, Ray's not related to me. She's not my sister. And she's not half Oriental either. That was a little inside joke. Um, Somebody else is asking me. Let's see here. What's my favorite pistol? Trey Orr wants to know. Oh boy, what's my favorite pistol? Man, that's like, oh. How do you ask that question? That's like asking a guy, blonde or brunette? Oh, that's easy, actually. I'm definitely a brunette guy, like guaranteed 100%. No offense to any blondes out there, but okay. Now, what's my favorite pistol? Let me think here. I don't know, man. I'm a pretty big Tokarev fan, to be honest with you. Like, that's literally an impossible question to ask, but I'm a pretty big Tokarev fan. That's why if you guys look at my little channel avatar, it's a Tokarev. They're kind of, I mean, they're up there. It's got to be top three. Now, is that the pistol I choose for carry, home defense, self-defense? No. So, favorite as far as which one do I like shooting the best and which one I think is pretty cool, Tokarev's right up there. But I don't carry, I actually carry in my pocket one of my least favorite guns to shoot, period. And then I carry another gun, too, that's actually a good shooter. So, yeah. Francis wants to know, who is the girl in the last video? Well, her name's Rachel. She goes by Ray. And who she is she's basically, she kind of like what I said in the last video, you know. She doesn't know a lot about guns. She has an open mind. And she's pretty smart enough to not let politics and stuff cloud her to the point where she can't make her own decisions, whether she wants to, you know, enjoy a hobby or not, learn a hobby, exercise her rights. And basically, I've been, you know, looking to do videos with other people. I've been talking about this in my streams and videos off and on for a long time, how it's really good to, you know, take newer people out to the range, get them into shooting, see if they like guns, make sure they're safe in case they ever, you know, have one handed to them somewhere else, or if they need to defend themselves and blah, blah, blah. And she was game to do it. So everyone else turned me down. Nobody else would do it. And she was cool enough to, you know, hang out with me and, you know, do some videos. I just found her randomly walking in the field behind there. That's what I said in the video, right? So, yeah. How much was that big box from Malaysia? I'm trying to remember how much these were now. They were pretty cheap, though. I honestly can't remember. I'm not blowing you off. Maybe someone else remembers. I know some of you guys have bought some of this ammo. Let's see. Ant Flames team. How's it going, man? Looks like he gave me a little, what is that, a little bomb and a little explosion? That's right, because somebody said she was going to blow up my channel. No, she's a lot more peaceful than that. Hey, Cole. I don't have it with me right now. I was gonna try to actually do more of a thorough review and maybe go do some shooting with it. So, but I do appreciate the super chat, man. You don't have to do that. You're already supporting me on Patreon, and I really appreciate it. But thank you. That's the first one I ever got. I guess I set it up right. People in the past have asked me why I don't have super chats turned on, and I wasn't monetized for the longest time. They turned me down when I hit 1,000 subscribers. I had enough subscribers and watch time to be eligible, but they turned me down. So, and then they approved me afterwards. Richard Hughes, you're monetized too. That's awesome. I don't think it's really, I think it was just bad luck because I read a whole article. I don't know if you read that too, that actually was put out by YouTube. I think basically it was just bad timing. Okay. So basically they had like tons of these channels sitting there that were in the queue that they had to review. And, then they finally hired like a bunch of extra staff and did them all at the same time. So I don't think it was like, they like me more because I only had to wait, Richard, like a month after they denied me, but you had to wait 9 months. It was just bad luck that you hit your watch hours and subscribers way before I did, because from what I understand, everybody was waiting like 9 months or something to get it done. And I think even higher, 9 to like 11 months. So, but yeah, thanks for the super chat, Richard. I appreciate it, man. And I have an open invite. That's awesome. That's awesome. And since I don't know a lot about Creator Summit, is this a place where I could, do content too? Is that kind of the goal? Is to hang out with content creators and actually film some content and stuff? Is that, because that's what I thought seemed pretty fun about it. I just want to make sure that I have the right, the right idea in mind about it. M4 Johnny, what's your top 5 favorite guns that you own? I think I should do a top 5 video. So you guys know SKS is there, like period, okay? AK's there, Tokarev's there. Those are the easy ones. Then there's like a ton of them that are like, tied like right up there, okay? So I really like old military surplus guns, stuff that has a lot of history to it. I really enjoy like an M1 Garand, Springfield 1903, Springfield. I'm kind of pointing because I've got some old rifles right over here. Springfield Trapdoor 1878, Craig Jorgensen. I'm into a lot of that stuff because I just like the history behind it, the walnut wood, the steel. As far as shooting, look at this is nuts. And Mateo's finally in here to vouch for this. I told the guys earlier, Mateo, you'd vouch for me here. I bought this, and my first video was called "Is It Worth the Hype?" I thought this was gonna suck. So tell everyone I said that, because Orion thinks I'm lying. No, it's not Orion. Who thinks I'm lying? Michael Science thinks I'm lying. No, I just wanted to pick on those guys. Anyways, I thought this was gonna suck. Not only does it not suck, but as far as shooting, this is one of my favorite shooters, guys. This is awesome. This is awesome. And since you guys keep asking about Ray, she shot this too, and she really liked shooting it. So obviously this is a comfortable gun for all types of people, really. Yeah, Cole, I'm gonna do a nice video on that Bakelite side folder for you, man. Matt Morrison, he says, I know. You called me out. I was trying to be sarcastic. He says, I think you meant blow up as your channel would grow. LOL. Yeah. My channel's grown the most because of this gun, to be honest. And this is just basically a popular search term. And I guess maybe a couple people said, they liked the way I did the reviews, I guess. I don't know. But my channel's not blown up. I don't mean it that way. I just mean many, many views on my Taurus videos compared to my other ones, right? So wait a minute. What kind of bad advice are you guys giving me now? But yeah, thanks for that idea, M4. Sometimes it's like easy just to miss the obvious. That's always kind of a cool video to do because I've always enjoyed other people's top 5 videos over the years. I think that's usually pretty fun. Explicit says it's a Coke spoon. It's a thingamajig. Yeah, nostril scratcher. Okay. You guys are funny. Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's funny, Explicit. I just read what you said. No, I don't really ask people anything. I'm pretty much good to go there. Let's see here. Someone said you can't have a G2C in mass. Is that serious? Why would that be? I don't get it. I really don't. I guess I don't know exactly I guess I don't know exactly the gun laws over there in mass. I really don't. I guess it's got a 12-round mag. Top 5 and worst are always interesting. Yes, they are. I agree, actually. Top worst. The problem is you do a top worst, and they always get butt hurt. There's always like, but who cares? Who cares about that? That's just fun, right? When I was in the comments going ballistic, when they're like, what do you mean my Rohm RG14 revolver isn't the worst? I mean, it's the best gun ever. I mean, someone shot Reagan with it. I mean, yeah. Now, if you guys want to know, like, the 1,000 best guns, just go to that one channel that I imitated that last weekend, where they sweat and big old muscles and stuff, that channel. If you watch those videos, every gun there is, best gun ever, top 1,000. All 1,000 guns that have ever been sold on there, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 11. I mean, that's a top 10 for you right there. Okay, so Richard Hughes says, in my neighborhood, he's met a lot of FUDs, bolt gun lovers, AR haters. What kind of guys do you meet? Man, I meet them all. There is a lot of FUDs. That's definitely true. Lots of FUDs around here. And a lot of them are more of like your gun-loving, Democrat, union worker. I mean, I'm near the Motor City, guys, right? So a lot of people vote Democrat with the union, but they still love guns for deer hunting. And they kind of like to say that's all you'd ever need, and why would you need that? And no one in their right mind. Yeah. There's lots of old traditional FUDs around, but what I'm starting to notice more? This is what's so messed up. And this is kind of sort of what I was going to originally talk about tonight. So I'll just kind of keep it a briefer version of it. But you know why politics and our rights freaking suck? Because you know what I've been noticing lately? I've been noticing people that are like, just don't get involved in politics at all. Like they're just not watching the news. Now, at first, this is going to sound terrible, guys. Like, you need to stay involved. You need to know who you're voting for. You need to know the whole platform of your senator and your representatives and all this and that. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of us have that duty, don't we? Because if most people aren't going to care, somebody has to do it and keep these people in check, right? But that notwithstanding, some people that literally aren't into politics at all, like whatsoever, actually are totally fine with whatever type of gun you want, because they've never really bothered to listen to some, shotgun Joe Biden say all you need is a shotgun, right? And they've never heard, the Republican promise to fight to get your gun rights back if you elect him. So it's kind of a messed up thing, and probably a topic for another night, because this could easily go into an hour rant if I don't watch myself. But it's like I've had a couple things just in the last, couple weeks, just different people I've talked to, and so they literally aren't involved in politics whatsoever, but they just don't care about this stuff. And that's kind of the way it should be. It should be like, whatever. If you don't want an AR-15, don't freaking have one. But if I want one, why shouldn't you be allowed to have one? So this is why I think politics should have nothing to do with our rights, because as soon as you have politics injected in rights, all you're doing is auctioning your rights off to the highest bidder, right? Where the Republicans like, well, if you elect me and, you donate to my cause, so you're giving them money or you're giving them power with your vote, right? They're going to do everything they can to keep you just scared enough about your gun rights to keep them in office. And then other ones right from the get-go are going to say, if you elect me, I'm going to get rid of the guns. They're making tons of divides that shouldn't even matter whatsoever. So it's back to FUDs. Let me tell you a quick story about a FUD versus somebody that hasn't been indoctrinated, okay? Now, everyone gets indoctrinated to a point. But there's a lot of guys that are like, yeah, Second Amendment. I own a hunting rifle, a bolt action rifle. That's all you need, blah, 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 blah. You shouldn't have an AR-15. You don't need it. And I know guys that have like 50, 60 guns in their gun safe, okay? Some of them that cost a couple thousand a piece and more. Double shotguns, stuff like that. Rifle shotguns. And they get in there and they say, well, this is the Second Amendment. You don't need this G2C because it's polymer, and you don't need this AK, and you don't need that. But then they'll say, well, but I'm a Second Amendment supporter because, the right to hunt shall not be infringed and all this crap. And then you guys want to know what's freaking hilarious? There's a lot of people I could use examples, but I'll use Rachel as an example because you guys have seen her in a video and you kind of sort of know who she is a little bit. We were talking the other day about this. Look, she's not into guns, guys. She's never even really held a gun. Like maybe once she did, but she doesn't know anything. You know what we started off with? An AR-15 right from the bat. She doesn't care. Why? Why does she not care? And she's not even a gun person, okay? When Uncle Fudd is sitting there with his 65 double barrels and bolt action shotguns, yada, 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 and he wants the AR-15 banned. And then I said, well, you know, the news and this and that. And of course, anyone's watched a little bit of news. And then she said, well, I don't really watch the news. And I said, you know what? Because you're freaking smart. Really. You know, it's like that whole thing where everybody isn't against guns naturally. That's not a natural thing. Naturally, people want to have rights. People want to be able to have property. People want to be able to do their own thing, right? But then they get indoctrinated where it's like, okay, nobody needs this. Nobody needs that. And people just need to keep an open mind. And as much as we knock on the younger generation, you know, I had a 20-something-year-old young lady say, I don't care. I don't have any opinion on any of them yet, which is not bad, right? I had a 7-year-old, okay, talking to me earlier today, a 7-year-old that said, and this is because there was a police incident on the news and there was a guy with a gun and, you know, is this a bad person? You know, she asked me, and I said, well, by what's reported, this person might be kind of bad, you know. And then she says, okay, you know, and this and that. And she said, well, he was a bad guy with a gun. And I said, yeah. And she said, you know, something along the lines of a gun isn't always bad. And I said, well, of course not. And then she said, I said, you know, reiterated to her, which I always do, that there's good people with guns that do good things with guns and would never hurt anybody. And then a few minutes later, she said, yeah, well, if a really bad person comes after you and you can't stop them, that's literally how she worded it. She's 7. And you can't stop them and they're still coming for you and they won't go away. Then you pull your gun on them, right? And point it at them. And I said, yes, I would. Absolutely. And then you know what she said next? She said, but what if they turned around and ran away? If they ran away and they're no longer a threat, I'm going to put it back down. And then you know what she said again? Well, what if they trick you? And then they come back. I said, well, I'd pull my gun back out again. She kind of, yep. 7-year-old. A 7-year-old gets it more than Uncle Fudd does. A 7-year-old little girl understands that if a bad guy's going to come after you and hurt you, that mama or daddy can help her, you know, or isn't this sickening? And then you've got people that are 40 years old, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, been around guns their whole life, and they tell you what kind of gun you need. When it comes time to whether you need a gun or not to protect yourself or your family or your country, does it really matter what type of gun it is at that point? Yes and no. Here's where it does matter. You should have the gun that's the most comfortable in your hands. The gun that fits you the best, that you're most confident with, that you've tested and it's reliable. In that manner, it does matter what type of gun it is. The gun that you feel best suited, that you have the most confidence in, right? Look, I've never had to shoot anyone and protect my life. I thank God for that every day, and I pray to God I'm never going to have to. And I think if I ever did have to, it's going to take a lot of courage and confidence. You better be confident in this inanimate object that has no feelings, that does not care, okay? It does not care if you take evil out, and it does not care if evil takes you out. It's just physical parts that are either going to move properly and they're going to execute or they're not. So, yeah, it does matter what gun you have. You have to be able to trust your gun because it's going to take a lot of courage, a lot of bravery. You're going to have to fight off a lot of adrenaline to be able to actually take that shot if you ever had to. So why should you be forced to have something that's uncomfortable in your hands, that's unwieldy, that doesn't fit you properly, that if you, God forbid, missed a shot, right? Or if you shot the bad guy, that you were in imminent harm, that was going to kill you, rape, you know, worse, right? And they were going to do that to you. What if the first bullet that hit him didn't do anything, huh? What about that? You know, all people understand is this. Stop the threat. Stop the threat. None of us that are on here, because like I've said a million times, these are some of the best people out there. You guys are some of the best examples in society. Nobody here wants to hunt people. Now, Dianne Feinstein says a 30-round magazine is illegal to hunt deer, but it's legal to hunt humans. But we all know better, right? None of us wants to hurt anybody. We just want to stop the threat. And what if somebody's hopped up on some kind of drug where, yeah, they're mortally wounded, but they didn't fall over right now? And yeah, they're going to die in 5 minutes from bleeding out. But in the meantime, they kill you. I mean, here's what it simply comes down to. Let's go back to this again. This 7-year-old little girl, she didn't say any of this. But she didn't have to because she said all of it. Very simply. If a bad guy is going to hurt us, will you pull your gun to stop them? And it was like, will you? And then it was like right after that, you will. It was like a question, and I hope this is, little kids do that, right? Will you pull your gun? You will pull your gun, Daddy. Like that, right? So all she understands is this. You stop the threat. Now, she's not old enough to touch guns on her own unless I'm sitting right next to her, okay? She's not going to do that, and she knows that. We further talked about the fact that, hey, look, yes, Daddy will, but not you. You don't do that. You're not old enough to make that decision. And she said, well, no. She knows better. But anyways, she does understand the fact that you're stopping the threat. So how dare somebody tell me that I only get 1 round to stop the threat? I only get 2. I only get 7. I only get 9. God forbid if I'm not a killing machine and I haven't killed people every day of my life, and when I take that first shot, I get a little bit nervous. I go high left, right? Why does that matter? We're not trying to take this clean, humane kill because we're not bad people. We're not hunting like we are deer. We're just trying to stop the threat. And like a little girl was smart enough to say, what if they run away? Well, if they run away, they're no longer a threat. And this is also something valuable to think about. We're still going to watch to make sure because she brought up the obvious. What if they're trying to trick you and they turn around and come back? Well, then I'm going to have to come back. Let's hope I have more than 7 or 8 rounds if there's that kind of scenario. Think about that for a minute. People that say such and such rounds is enough. Look, all of us aren't sharpshooters. All of us haven't, been through the spec ops in the military. Have any of us even done any of that? I don't know. I know some of you guys have, done a lot of things I've never done, but geez, oh Pete. I just think it's nuts that, 2 young ladies I've talked to about guns just in the last week, okay, are both so much smarter and more open-minded than a lot of idiots. Even a lot of people that, I hate to say it, have gun channels and stuff. You hear all kinds of crap. It's like, man, what's wrong with you people? Politics has nothing to do with any of this. It's just simply preventing bad things from happening, preventing imminent danger, irreversible harm. It's really, really simple. You just stop it. SAJPB52, how's it going, man? What's the news on BS? Are you saying the news is a bunch of BS? Because if that's what you're saying, I totally agree, man. Brastard, 81 millimeter muzzle loader. There you go. Double barrel 81 millimeter. How about that? Yeah, explicit said our rights got infringed in 34 and 68, and the train keeps going further off the rails. Oh, I know it does. And the reason why rights shouldn't be politicized is this. Real simply. Again, I could talk about this a long time, but here's the crazy thing people don't ever want to think about. So, certain candidate gets in power and wants to take the guns away. Well, people that don't care about the Second Amendment, they say, well, I don't care about that one, so take the guns. I'm against it, whatever, right? Okay. Not okay, guys. But going on their narrative, okay, all right, take the guns. Go ahead. All right. Now, they forget the fact that both parties, I think one's a little worse than the other, but not much lately. Both parties just want control. They want it to where you have no rights left. So, but they don't realize this because they're not going to literally tell you this, right? They say, well, the Second Amendment's the only one they want. Yeah, yeah. You're going to believe that? Because even within the Second Amendment, a million times, all we want is background checks. Well, we gave them background checks. They've had those forever. All we want is machine guns. They took those. All we want is this. All we want is that. They keep going and going and going. So all these people that are stupid enough to vote somebody in power, that all they want to do is, if they're elected, is just take the Second Amendment, right? Just take these inanimate objects that are somehow inherently evil, right? Take those, and that's all we want. These people really believe that after they take every last gun in the whole country and there's none left, that they're not going to go after their First Amendment, their freedom of speech, their freedom to peaceably assemble, and I would even say right now, violently assemble. They're afforded liberties to do that. I think some of it's getting a little more violent than it should, but with that said, I cherish our right to assemble, whether it's popular speech, especially if it's unpopular speech, right? That's even the more reason we need to assemble. Petition government for redress of grievance. So these same people that stand there and they go up on the hill and they scream and shout and they say, take the guns, take them all, take all the guns. You want to give someone enough power to take away all of the guns, right? That's a lot of power, isn't it? Because these people need to be reminded that when we fought the Revolutionary War, to not be subjects to the king anymore, that it was about the guns. And if we wouldn't have had the guns and refused to give them up, we would all be subjects to the queen still and answer to the king, right? So these people somehow think that if they take one right away, the Second Amendment, that they're not going to stop there. They're not going to go after their First Amendment. They're not going to go after their Third Amendment, their Fourth, their Fifth, all the way up. These people have to be nuts. Because not only every time our government gets in the habit of taking something that it's not given the right to take. In fact, the government's never been given any rights to take anything away. Our rights are given to us by God, and they're confirmed. They're just confirmed in writing. Hands off, don't touch. Government, this is over your head. This is a government of the people, by the people, with natural rights. And since God gave you your rights, by you just simply being born in this country, it is acknowledged that you had these rights the second you were born. These are natural rights, okay? And that you have these. These people think that if you can get rid of that, that people are still going to be able to tell their government when to stop. These same people that they love to speak, they love to talk. They get on here and they talk and talk and talk about taking the guns away, taking the guns away, taking the guns away. The clause that strictly prohibits the government from treading on our natural God-given rights to take our guns away literally touches the freaking right for these people to sit there and rant and rave about taking guns away. I mean, how stupid is this? It's like you want to go back to some of these like trite sayings that are kind of corny because we've heard them so much, but they're just so freaking true. Did anyone ever tell you not to cut off your nose to spite your own face? Didn't everyone tell you not to shoot yourself in the foot, people? And that's the thing. I'm not telling these people they need to like guns. I'm not even going to go as far as to tell them that they have to stand up and fight if they need to protect liberty or their family. I would hope for their innocent loved ones, especially if they're little ones, they would stand up and fight. But to be honest with you, I believe everybody has the right to protect their family or not and take care of them however they want. You know what I mean? I'm rather liberal when it comes to that. Isn't that kind of funny how messed up these words have gotten? I'm pretty liberal, meaning I believe everybody has these God-given rights. And you have the right to not like me. I have the right to not like you. You have the right to not own a gun. But guess what? I do have the right to own a gun. And I have the right to sit and talk about it. And you have every bit of right to get on here, go wherever you want and say how you don't like guns. And that's fine. But I just want to say this to anyone out there, you know. And again, I don't have the best arguments at all, but maybe if something I'm saying here sticks a little bit, it's something you could try with one of your friends that want to take away your Second Amendment. It's like, first of all, do you really think they're going to stop at that? And do you want a government that's so powerful it can take away one of the rights you cherish? Because I may not like your speech in a way, but I do like the fact that you have your speech and you have the right to it. And isn't it funny that certain parties align themselves with, we're the go along, get along party. We fight for the downtrodden, and we believe everyone should be equal. Oh, really? Really? These people call themselves liberals, right? Okay, that's fine. But here's the problem. What's wrong with this kind of thought? And this makes me sound like a liberal if you think about it, but think about it for a second. Is it really? How about this? You say whatever the hell you want. You leave me alone. You take care of yourself, because life's short and we all have one life to live. Live your life. Don't tread on me and I won't tread on you. You come after me, you don't have the right to come and harm my family. As soon as you do that, I have the right to stop you. You can rant and rave. You can sit there and talk about, you don't like guys that buzz their hair or when my hair is really long. I don't care. You can rip on me because I have red hair. I don't care. Sit and say whatever you want. That's great. I'm very liberal with your rights. Everybody should have the right to say what they want. You should also have the right to own whatever gun that you want, whatever gun that you feel you need. And you shouldn't have to quarter a soldier in your home. And that the government shouldn't have all the rights. And the ones that are not specifically written for the federal government should be reserved for the states and then to the people. I mean, everything in the Bill of Rights is basically this, okay? Do what you want. Do what's good for you. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, do what's good for you. Within reason. If you're going to try to hurt somebody because that's good for you, no, that's not cool. But just keep in mind, you play stupid games, you play stupid prizes. Someone wants to try to hurt me for fun. Hey, they might get the best of me, or they might decide it wasn't a good idea, So it's really, really messed up right now. People are trying to confuse all these different terminologies. The Democratic Party. The Democratic Party. We don't have a Democratic Party, people. I listen and look at I like him. I don't like everything he says, but I like Sean Hannity. He's all right. I listen to him when I'm mowing grass, okay? Sean Hannity was just on there talking about the Democratic Party. Everyone's indoctrinated right now to talk about the Democratic Party, the Democratic Party. Maybe in other countries. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't. I try to study a little bit of foreign politics, but not really, because I believe that this is the greatest country in the world. And we have enough problems right here that I need to make sure I'm keeping track of matters in my own house. I don't have time for other countries right now. Nothing against those people. Probably some of the best people live in them. I just don't have time for them. So in this country, we don't have a Democratic Party. I wonder if somebody's maybe trying to change the Democrat Party to sound like the Democratic Party, because somehow, which leads me down a little tangent here, which somehow implies that Democratic must be a different version of the word democracy. Yeah, that's it, right? Well, they imply that democracy is a good thing. Is it really? Do we even have a democracy? No. There is no Democratic Party in this country, and our country is not a straight democracy. What the heck is wrong with these people? And I know sometimes a word is a word is a word. Look, you can call this a firearm. You can call this a gun. If you're new to shooting and you want to call this whole thing a bullet, I don't care. I get what you mean, okay? But these are these kind of words aren't just a minor thing. This isn't just little Freudian slips. People are literally trying to change common words to mean something different than what they don't, okay? Because what a true democracy is not what this country is, okay? And people believe that, well, a true democracy would be the best. Okay, I'll humor you. Why is it the best? Because I've listened to the arguments. Well, every person needs to have a say. And you know what I immediately respond with? I agree. And that's why we don't want a democracy. Hold on. What the? Wait, hold on. And I say, well, what else? Well, a democracy, all the weak, all the downtrodden should be still counted, right? That's why we need a democracy. And I say, okay, I actually agree with you too. I believe the weak and the downtrodden are just as important as the wealthy and the higher up people, right? But in that vein, we also don't want a democracy. And they're like, what? But hold on, though. The Democratic Party, they're for the poor, right? No, they're not. Well, hold on a minute. Okay. And then they go on a little further. Well, every person should be able to stand up and be counted equally, right? No, not really. And here's why. In a democracy, a straight democracy, now, nowadays with technology, it'd be pretty impossible, actually, for everything we want done to have 300 million votes and have it not get hacked by our government and blame it on Russia, or manipulated by one of our parties and blame it on Russia, or out and out hacked by Russia or China, right? That'd be a logistical nightmare for any of you guys that are in the IT field, right? Well, the other problem would be this. The Constitution doesn't protect the greatest of us and the whims of the popular ebbs and flows of what pop culture wants and what, society feels at that time that it wants, because that normally doesn't work. Normally what happens when you get like a big group of people over here screaming at another big group of people, and they both scream as loud as they can, and they can't scream any louder, they normally converge into a stampede. And then a lot of people get hurt, and a lot of people die. So basically, a true democracy starts off with everyone with their hands up until all of a sudden they realize, well, hold on a minute. Let's take this out into the public. And it literally ends up with people stampeding like a bunch of wild animals. Literally. The other problem is this. People say, well, the downtrodden. Let's not forget that, this protects minorities here. Absolutely, the Constitution protects minorities. Duh. I'm sick and tired of people saying the democracy and the Democratic Party is the only one that cares about minorities. Are you freaking kidding me right now? First of all, it's hard to tell who the minorities are and aren't, but let's just look at minority by the true definition of the word. If you're a minority, by definitions, there's less of you. There's less physical people in a minority than there is in a majority, right? So if there's 10 minority people, and this could be based on their gender, the color, their skin. It could be based on sexual preference, anything like that. It doesn't matter right now. But if you're in the minority and there's only 10 of you and 100 of the majority, okay? You really want a democracy? Really? So you want 100 people to just rush at each other like a bunch of bulls or cattle or whatever and see which one gets stampeded the most? How crazy is this at the party that they want to say, we're for the minorities? We're for the minorities. We're for the downtrodden. We're for the lesser people. Really? But they want to take this so-called minority and throw it up against the majority? 100 to 10 or 10 to 1? It just doesn't make any sense. And ultimately what you end up with a true democracy is you sit there and the sides basically form their coalitions, and you end up with the powerful deciding how they're going to screw over the weak. And another way to word this is, here's a perfect example of democracy, okay? 2 wolves and 1 sheep sit at the table to decide what's for dinner, right? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? So it's just crazy right now that we have this political system where they're saying, we're the Democratic Party, democracy. And all of you people that would be exposed to the highest form of tyranny, that would have the most threat against you, that have the most to lose, are supposed to vote for people who advocate to get rid of the Electoral College, straight democracy. It just doesn't make any sense. And you know what's so freaking nuts? Because I'm more conservative and I want to keep my guns and be able to protect my family, and I want to keep free speech for all of us and all this and that. Most people that hate guns and stuff, they probably think they hate me, right? And it's fine, they can. But the fact is, it's me and you and you guys out there that are willing to have an open mind. We're the people that actually care about these people that hate us. Isn't that nuts? Because if we truly didn't like minorities and we didn't like people of a certain race and all of that, like they say we all are, like, oh, you're gun owners and, people that tend to vote, a little more on the Republican side. I even hate saying that nowadays. Not happy with the Republicans right now, guys. But with that said, people that basically, they want to stereotype us. And this is the left and the media that does this. Like, oh, you guys are the racist ones. You guys want to, the rich businessman taking advantage of the downtrodden. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? So basically, if that was the case and we were such cruel human beings, why would we be fighting for everybody's rights, okay? Why would we be fighting for the single mother to have a gun to protect herself and her newborn baby at home? Why would we be doing that? Because look, I'm no match for a gun, and none of us are. But if some dude just walks in here and wants to get frisky, first of all, he's going to take a look at me and be like, no, thanks. But if he just wants to rob me, I can handle myself. I'm pretty good with my hands, guys. Who needs guns the most? All of us, equally. But technically, a single mother needs a gun more than I do. So that's who I'm for. I'm for the single mother that needs a gun to protect herself and her baby. I'm for the downtrodden. I'm for the black person that's in the minority, or the whatever color the person is. Because if I wasn't, and if all of us weren't, nice people that care about all kinds of people, you know what we'd do? We'd say, you know what, Democratic Party, People's Democratic Party, People's Republic Democratic Party. Yeah, I'm using those words for a reason, because we know anytime a country starts with People's Democratic. Yeah. So anyways, you know what we'd do? We'd say, fine, get rid of the Electoral College. Get rid of it right now. It's gone. Go ahead. Stack the Supreme Court. Put 30 justices on there. Get rid of it. Get rid of all of it. If we did that, do you know what would happen? The very people that are voting for them would be the first ones that are gone. You know what I'm saying? Kind of ironic, isn't it? Now, look, I just got done saying I don't have hate for any of these people. I don't. I'm not qualified to judge anybody, and it's not good to have hate in your heart. But at the same time, I'm not a fool. I'm not trying to cut them too much slack. I saw what you said, Bastard. I saw what you said. I don't know where you guys are heading with this, but it's not me sitting here like trying to cut them extra slack. I'm just showing you how rhetorical this whole thing is. But people play stupid games. They win stupid prizes. And if these people want to sit there and elect people that want to take away the protections that they have, where all men are created equal, where the Constitution and Bill of Rights applies to everyone, if they're seriously stupid enough to keep voting for these people that are taking away their rights, hey, I can't do anything for you. You reap what you sow at the end of the day. I hate to say it, but you kind of had it coming. You begged for it. You begged for them to take your rights away. You begged them to take away everything that was protecting you. Everything that's kept this country the greatest country for the last 240 years, where you even can get on TV and act like a fool and protest. You know what? If you keep begging for it, just be careful. Be very careful is what you guys should tell these people when you run into them, because you just might get what you're asking for. You want a democracy? Hey, now look it. I'm going to fight to my last breath. I'm going to talk as much as I can, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to try to keep us from becoming a straight democracy, guys. But you know what? If they finally beat us and they finally get their democracy they want, and it's not me, because here's the thing. I abide by what the Constitution says, okay? I've got my own back. I've got myself protected. So when you purposely beg and plead and get on your knees for them to take away everything from you, don't come to me. Don't come to me, because I'm going to have to say, I told you so. And I'm trying to help people think about this for a minute. Look, I'm not telling you what party to vote for. In fact, my whole point lately is both of these political parties completely suck. The one sitting there saying, elect me and I'll take away less of your rights. Okay? You elect me and I'll take away more of your rights. Well, then you flip the rights around and the one party's like, well, I want to take away more of this right than the other. I mean, don't forget, it's normally the Democrats that want our guns. Now it's the Republicans that want our guns too. Okay? But it hasn't always been the Democrats. Look, I'm not letting them off easy. I'm saying we can't let the Republicans off easy either. Look at after 9/11, World Trade Center, tragedy. Never let a good tragedy go to waste, right? Every time there's a tragic shooting, the Democrats go right for our guns, historically. Now Republicans too. Guess what the Republican Bush administration did? They went right for our privacy after 9/11. Again, tragedy. The people are weak. The people are sympathetic. The people want the government to help. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Yeah, that's what they wanted. Yeah, that's what they got. George Bush, Patriot Act. Yeah, they listen to every phone call. They read every text message. Now, a person doesn't have time to listen to all of it, but they don't need to because there's computer information systems, terabytes beyond terabytes of hard drives, artificial intelligence that can listen to every single thing that's said, put you into a category, right? Republicans put that through, okay? The Republican, the famous Special Forces Republican from Texas, okay? Almost called him something, but I didn't. TAPS Act, okay? The guy that lost his eye. He wants the TAPS Act. So after all the stuff the Republican president put in to collect every bit of data they possibly could, metadata. I think metadata is like literally just this much of the tip of the iceberg. We'll call it metadata. Been collected on us more than ever, more than anyone could have even thought possible this whole time. Now we have a Republican that wants to put up a bill with bipartisan support, of course, because the one thing parties always agree on is take the power from the people. Because if the people fire us, we lose our power. We lose our money. We lose our prostitutes. We don't get to live our sinful lives we lead. That's what they lose, right? For some reason, they're tempted by all this crap. I don't even know why. But here's the fact. They always agree that if they can take your right away from the people, it's a good thing. So now we've got Dan Crenshaw. You guys knew who I was talking about. I didn't forget his name. I almost called him something, and I decided not to. Yeah, he wants the TAPS Act. You know what the TAPS Act does? Stuff you said online and whatnot. Oh, and by the way, he can word it however he wants. Everything that George Bush and every single bipartisan bill that keeps renewing it every single year has been kept in place. He gets all the data in the world. He puts you in a category. If you're in a category that's considered too dangerous, guess what? You get in trouble for the thing that they thought you might do in the future, but you haven't done it yet. Since you haven't done it yet, how can they prove you would have ever done it? And how do you get due process? But it doesn't matter. A computer algorithm told them that you probably sort of might kind of maybe going to do it. So it's really, really nuts that, like I said, people want to keep on. And I wanted to talk about that. And look, I know we got an election coming, and once in a while people say to me like, hey, man, you got to stop ripping on Republicans because if you do, the other side's going to win. Well, who is the other side? You know what I mean? To me, they're both the other side, if you want to be completely honest. Yeah, there's a couple good ones here and there. And sometimes there's a Democrat that comes up with something that's really makes sense. Now, whether they're doing it for good reasons or not, I don't know. But sometimes the Democrats are on the right side of a few issues. I will tell you this. What's interesting is every time that reauthorization comes up where they can listen to all of our phone calls without a warrant and collect all of it so that Dan Crenshaw's TAPS Act can start doing, thought crime against us and prosecuting us for future crime, right? You know who always gets together and actually votes against that? There's a few people, but a couple people stick out. Rand Paul and Elizabeth Warren always vote against that. Isn't that kind of crazy? So just goes to show you it's not necessarily along party lines like people think it is. It's basically both parties want our rights. None of the parties really like their constituents. They don't really care about us, and why would they? Because to be honest, I'm not responsible for the protection of my congressman's family. Not that I don't care about them in a certain way. In a certain way, I care about them, but in another way, I don't care about those people. So why the heck would I expect them to really care about me? It's kind of obvious, isn't it? We take some of our biggest things that we have, our freedom, our right to protect our life, decisions, right? That you'd think you could only trust to yourself or to your wife or your husband or maybe with your kids, if they're old enough. The most intimate people to you would think would be the only ones you'd listen to. But instead, we elect people that we're never going to meet, that are never going to meet us. We don't care about them, and they don't care about us. And we elect them and let them decide the best ways to feed ourselves, the best types of medical care that we deserve, what types of guns we will be allowed to protect ourselves with. Complete strangers. And we wonder why they don't care about us. We wonder why. Why do we wonder why? If you think about it, of course they don't care about us. They don't know us. There's no reasonable expectation that they would care about us. But here's the thing. If there were people actually running, and there might be a couple here and there that we could get in power that care about the Constitution, And if they literally care about the Constitution and believe the way it was written is worded well, and that there's no improvements that need to be made and it doesn't need to be torn down, they don't have to care about us individually. If they care about the Constitution, we're still good to go. Because God cares about all of us, and he gave us unalienable rights that are natural rights that are given to us, that we're blessed to have, right? And as long as these people we elect promise to keep the Constitution and the Bill of Rights strong, we don't have to worry about whether they like us or not. And it's like, if you really think about it, this should be so freaking simple, okay? This should have nothing to do with somebody, getting on there from one party saying, well, I care more about this person than that person. And then somebody else gets up there and says, well, I care more. Look, none of these people care about us. If we could somehow get people that say, look, I care about you in one sense, like we all care about each other equally under the eyes of God. We're all brothers under God. If they want to look at it that way, that's fine. So I'm not making light of that. But in the general sense, if we just literally get past our feelings and who freaking cares about us, say, look, none of these people care about us individually. They can't possibly do it. They're just human beings. They don't have time to walk into each one of their 200,000 constituents' homes if they're in the House of Representatives, if they're a senator, millions, sometimes tens of millions. They don't have time to walk on to all of our homes and meet us and see how we're doing and this and that. Of course they don't. It's not reasonable for any of them to promise us that they care about us or that they'll do anything for us. We can all do what we have to do for ourselves. We can make judgments for ourselves. What's best for our families? What's gonna make us safe? What we choose to eat, what we choose not to eat, right? And we already have documents that say, don't tread on me. Don't take these from us. The Bill of Rights doesn't say, well, the government is going to let you have a gun or whatever. No. It says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, right? The First Amendment says Constitution shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech, right? It doesn't say that the government and the Congress will be elected to grant the words that we can use. So I think, and again, this isn't a new way I'm looking at this. It's just sometimes we need to backpedal a little bit with all these elections. And wouldn't it be great if we could somehow figure out how to get a candidate up there? And maybe one could turn into 2 to 3 to 4 to a couple hundred. You guys get my point. That literally says, I don't have time to care about you. But here's the deal. I care about the Bill of Rights. I care about the Constitution. I'm going to protect it. I'm going to take my oath. I'm going to fight with every breath of my body on the floor of Congress and with my vote that I'm not going to touch your rights. And if they would just do that, then we'd be fine. We don't need them to tell us what they're going to do to protect us, what they're going to do to save us. It's like they literally, they're like a life jacket salesman that throws you in the water and just sits there and holds up a life jacket and says, do you think you need one now? How much do you want to pay for it? Do you want to trade me something for it? You can barely even breathe. You're dying. You're going to say anything. Just give me the life jacket, right? It's so stupid. People can't see this. They've just been taking away our rights one after another to try to sell them back to us in some kind of promise later on. Really, all they need to do is back off, stay out of it. We know what we're doing. Yeah, there's always going to be a psychopath out there, a person that can't mind their manners, that doesn't know what they're doing, that's going to try to encroach on somebody. I get that. But here's the beautiful thing. That works itself out because some weirdo walks through that door over there. No rhyme or reason. I don't need a government man here. I can take care of that by myself, guys. Somebody comes in here trying to kill me for no reason. I've got that. I've got that covered. No thanks, Mr. Congressman. Just get back up there and keep people from treading on my rights. You do that, I'll protect myself. I'll protect my family. I'll feed myself. In fact, we probably all have a lot better jobs, and our businesses would be doing a lot better if we didn't have all the regulation. I think most of you guys would agree with me on that too. So it's just kind of crazy. You vote one person in to take it away. You vote for another person to give it back. Then you vote for another person to give you something. And then you realize, well, the government can't actually give you anything. Anything that you can be given that truly matters. No government man's ever going to be able to provide happiness to you in your life or safety, true freedom. They can't give that to you. The most valuable things in life, I believe, are the simplest things that nobody can give you. And look, in one way I care, in another way, I don't care if you guys are Christians or not, but that's up to you guys. You guys have the freedom to be whatever you want or to not be what you want. But when I say God, I mean there's something greater than some man in Washington that gives us these beautiful things in life, So why are we going to go to some guy that wears a suit and tie up in Washington and say, well, I'd really like you to, make sure this law passes so I can have more happiness and blah, blah, blah. You've got what you've got already, guys. Anything you could ever want to make you happy is already here. And if you can make the best of it, then you're a lucky person, But nobody else is going to give you happiness. Look, even your own wife isn't going to give you happiness. Your best friend's not going to give you happiness. Now, people might do things to temporarily, provide you comfort. Of course. Of course. People that we love are awesome for helping us. But nobody can truly make you happy but yourself. And if you're happy, your happiness is going to reflect on the other person. And if you and your wife are both happy, you're going to get together awesome. But if you're just completely miserable, even the people you love the most can't truly make you happy. So why in the heck do you think some guy wearing a big boot, wearing a suit and tie, up on a hill looking down on us in Washington, a faraway land, a place I don't even recognize as this country compared to where I live looks, why do we expect them to make us happy? And I think so many people literally somehow think that if you vote the right person in, that they're going to find happiness. And yeah. So I think that's some of the background behind it. But the problem is our rights just shouldn't be political at all. I saw a few people pop in here real quick. Americans first. How's it going, man? Crooked Creek shooting. I can talk, I swear. Crooked Creek shooting. How's it going, man? Good to see you guys. Who else popped in? Anyone else pop in and say hi and I rudely ignored you? I wasn't ignoring anybody. Yeah, Orion says there are inherent risks living in a free society. Of course there's risks. Of course there's risks. Hey, I'd rather risk it, though, than to have imminent harm and danger. Here's the problem. Unless we're going to be the first time, every government that takes away all of its people's rights and takes away its guns, yeah, it's usually gets pretty risky, doesn't it? Chairman Mao, China, Hitler, Germany, Cambodia. I can go on and on and on different places. Usually kind of sort of. Things get even a little more risky once the populace is disarmed and everyone loses their rights. So that's a good point to bring up there. What have we got going on here? Fierce Mouse, how's it going, man? Are you still in here? I wasn't looking at the chat for quite a while, guys. I'm sorry. I kind of do that every once in a while. I get on my little rants. Some of you guys are like, shut up, dude. But that's the nice thing about the side chat, though. You guys can chat. Other people are like, man, I like your rants. Go on a longer one next time. So, hey, here's a good example. Like I said earlier, I can't make you guys happy, right? So if you're happy with my rant, enjoy it. If you're not, then be happy and enjoying the conversation with your buddies in the side chat there. So that's the thing. You'll always be happy in one of the streams, even if the host himself isn't really quite, up to it. Yep, Ryan said there, rights can be taken. Rights can't be taken, only surrendered. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, Fierce Mouse, a lot of them disgust me, man. They do, but you know what? Both sides are getting kind of disgusting. You hear Trump, and I hope he is backing down on some of the gun control. He said he is, but he's still for red flag. So I'm not for gun control anymore, but I'm still for red flag law. That's literally like saying, I am not gonna break your fingers with a hammer, guys. Oh, great. Just with this mallet, because this is not a hammer, this is a mallet. Really? Really? Does it even freaking matter? So, yeah. He's not going after the guns, just red flag laws. So, he's actually kind of right. He's not going to go after the guns. He's just going to enact red flag laws where your ex-wife or your neighbor or someone you got in a fight with, someone that lost a card game to you last night, they can take your guns. So there you go. See, we do have choices here. We can choose the one party where they're going to take our guns, or we can choose the other party that's going to turn neighbor against neighbor, brother against brother, and have the people take the people's guns, or the people will call somebody else with a gun to come take their guns, right? Isn't that kind of ironic? Crazy, guys. And this stuff shouldn't be crazy, you know? I'm saying that in the truly sarcastic sense. I don't think anything I'm saying is crazy. It's like, no, we know what we want in life. I know what I want anyways. So, no. Don't need some government man to tell me what I want. And I don't know if you're still in here, Francis, but you said it right, you know. Unfortunately, the Democratic Party has basically become the Communist Party. Unfortunately, and the Republicans kind of look a lot like your older Democrats in a lot of sense. Just saying. They need to teach the Constitution in grammar school. SAJPB says, hey, and I agree with you. You know why? I was just talking to someone about this last night, actually. The freaking Constitution and the Bill of Rights, like a third grader can read this. They wrote it that way for a reason. The only thing is some of the words back then that they used are used a little differently now, but not much. Not much. Somebody with a very low education can understand the Constitution. That's the beauty of it. So for that reason, I would say yes. Yes. You know, if a third grader can understand it, it's pretty sad when adults can't understand it. You know what I mean? When a second grader kind of knows that you use a gun to stop someone that's going to harm you and that won't stop harming you, and then if they run away, they're no longer a threat, but if they come back, I mean, come on now. Come on. This is literally grammar school crap. Let's see here. Crooked Creek, keep the calls of the White House coming. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. Because a lot of this stuff's meant just to appease us. Oh, I'm not good for gun control. I'm not for the background check. Oh. Okay. This is great if he's telling the truth, but he still wants a lot of it. So don't fall for the old, you know, offering us just enough of an olive branch where we back off and we forget. I mean, they haven't even come back yet from their recess where they're spending time in their districts. Foley Focus is here. How's it going, man? He said he's only trusted in God. He's never let me down before. Has he let you, man, down? My rants are always on point and on fire. Thanks, man. For the people that like it, the ones that don't like it, they leave. That's what's great about this country, guys. If you don't like it, leave. That's awesome. I don't want people to leave, but if they want to leave, awesome. Jim Smith's here. How's it going? He says racism places the blame for certain social conditions on one or more races of people. This can lead to division amongst races and racial prejudice and discrimination. Yeah. And the problem is it's the propaganda behind it. It becomes different than just like liking the color of somebody's skin, right? Like that's what we think of at first on racism. But I think I know where you're heading with this. And the problem is you can play racism against itself. So I don't really believe in like reverse racism. I just believe there's only racism, right? So it doesn't matter what color you are. So if a white guy doesn't like a black guy because of the color of his skin, he's a racist. If a black person doesn't like a white person only because of the color of their skin, they're racist. So yeah, racism, regardless of what race is perpetrating it, there's stuff getting fueled by the politics, the political machine, you know, the news, the fake news. And here's the problem. They always want us to have somebody to hate. You know why? Because if we have somebody to hate, they can come in and make us all like each other again. That's why they throw us in the water, so they can sell us a life jacket. If they just leave us the heck alone, you'll find out that people that kind of have, you know, more liberal views and the ones that have more conservative views, you know what would actually happen, I've noticed? In real life, when you don't get all this crap and this hysteria, these politicians involved, the one person goes out and shoots their gun and has some fun while the other person's out there saving the animals, which hunters save more animals than anybody, by the way. That's a whole other topic. But hey, one person's out there saving the tree while the other person's out there shooting. Then at the end of the day, they get together and have dinner. And the one person talks about the tree that they were hanging out with, and the other guy talks about that he's shooting. Why not? Well, if we had that, then we wouldn't need to have this person go to Congress and that person go to Congress, and we wouldn't have to argue between, what's Senator Rand Paul going to say versus Senator Elizabeth Warren going to say? It doesn't really matter, okay? You know what I'm saying? As long as you don't do them at the same time, the one guy goes off and smokes his weed while the other's polishing their gun. The guy that smokes the weed, he does need to sober up first. The next day, they get together and they shoot guns together. You know what I'm saying? Why does it matter? It doesn't matter. It's literally they have to create these things. They have to manufacture a crisis so that they can come and rescue you from it. Because how easy it would be for them to be elected and have these career positions, right? Where they're there their whole entire life. And they keep getting more powerful, more rich. If all they simply stated is, if you elect me, I'll go to the United States House, the People's House, and I will hold and defend the Constitution as hard as I can for 2 years. Then I'm going to go back home. I'm not going to run again. Next in line, it's your turn. Which is, I believe, kind of sort of how the government was supposed to run in this country, right? Am I too far off? You weren't supposed to stay there the rest of your life. In fact, this was such an unnecessary and unappealing job from the writings I've read. They didn't put the term limits in there because why? You didn't even think about that, because nobody's going to want to be a congressman or a senator for that long. Not when it's a country run by the people. Basically, they're called a public servant for a reason. It was supposed to be where the people who run the government have a servant that's going to wait on them hand and foot, that's going to serve them, literally. And when I mean wait on them hand and foot, I don't mean giving them free stuff. I don't mean giving them a cell phone, giving them health care, telling them how to protect it. I mean giving it their all, saying, I will go there and represent you people to make sure that the Constitution stays put and the Bill of Rights stay put. Now, this is a stressful, terrible job. You can't expect someone to want to do that too long, right? Because the money wasn't there. I'm talking in the very beginning, the way this country was set up. No, this was a miserable job, right? And it's not right to make somebody your slave where they have to be your servant forever and they can never get out, right? So, yeah, you're going to go there in Washington for a couple of years, fight for your neighborhood, fight for your community, fight for your family. All right, I'm tired out. This is crazy. I'm going to come home now. You come home, and your neighbor goes in there and serves the area. Stands up for the people, stands up for the Constitution. See, their job description wasn't supposed to be that big. They could go to Washington for... travel was different back then. But in today's day and age with modern jets, if you looked at it how the Constitution was supposed to be followed and how small our government was supposed to be, you could take a quick flight to Washington, D.C., vote on a few things, probably be home in a couple days and not go back for 6 months. Isn't that crazy to even think about that right now? So, yeah. Let me see what I'm missing here in the comments. Me for president. I'm too poor to be president, and not good looking enough, and what else? There's got to be 3 things. Oh, I don't lie good enough either. Yeah, money, power, and control is their agenda, Ninja Scout says. If I didn't say hi to you, Ninja, how's it going, man? I've read a few of your comments, but yeah, nice to see you, man. Poor Conservative says I suck for starting early. I'm sorry, man. I feel bad because I'm late all the time, Nice to see you guys in here. You know what's crazy? Do you want to know how messed up we've gotten? And I've heard a lot of Republicans saying this lately. And if you guys disagree with me, that's fine. But really think about this before you just get mad. A lot of conservatives and Democrats have both been saying this, but especially the conservatives. They say, how dare these people in Washington? They're at home on vacation for 6 weeks. Who the heck gets a 6-week vacation? You guys see what's wrong with this picture? We've gotten to the point now where even the so-called conservatives are mad that the representatives to the people, okay, aren't in Washington enough. Are you freaking kidding me? I think it's ludicrous that they work more than 6 weeks out of the year. Of course, they need to go back to their home districts because, first of all, every law that they're not writing is still keeping a little bit of that freedom that we have left, okay? Second of all, this is the people's house. Look at the House of Representatives, okay? We have so many districts for a reason, so they can be the closest to the people that they're representing. You know why they're back right now? They're not just on vacation like you think. And I know a lot of you guys are smart on this. I'm not trying to talk to you all, but I've heard people that have 4 million people on Night Watch saying this lately. Get back to work. Get back to Washington. What? The only thing they do in Washington is tread on our rights. What they're doing right now on their recess is they're talking to their people. And whoever says they're not is full of crap. My congressman, I'm going to be going to one of his town halls again coming up here. He has like 18 town halls scheduled right now, back to back to back. They're out talking to the people. Where you can walk into a small room because nobody cares because everyone trusts the government so much. Everyone wants a free cell phone and whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wants a bunch of food stamps to buy junk food that's terrible for them. But whatever. People want all that. So they've left it all to these guys. Well, how about this? They're in their districts right now where the people can walk into a small room. There's usually only 12 people in there, maybe 30, maybe 40. Small enough room where you can actually talk to them, okay? And you can usually shake their hand and you can raise your hand and say, Congressman, why did you promise to not take our guns, but you voted for HR blah, blah, blah that's promising red flag laws? You can do that. And we've got even conservatives pissed off that they're in their districts talking to we the people because they want them in Washington more. These are some of the same conservatives that are calling it the Democratic Party. Like, why? Why do people want them back in Washington more? Does anyone agree with me that the longer recess they take, the better? Does anyone out there agree with me that every law they don't pass is just keeping a little bit more freedom preserved? So, I don't know. I am going to be right back in like 2 minutes here. I was going to sign off, but a couple of you guys just got in here, so I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm really thirsty, actually, at this point. I've been kind of talking a lot, and yeah. All right, I'm back. They didn't get me yet. I just got done saying I want to get rid of every congressman, and no, I don't want anarchy, guys. So don't think that's it. It's not it at all. I just want our people to go to Washington, defend the Constitution, defend the Bill of Rights for a short period of time, then come back home and live like regular people. Watch guys that are cutting grass. Watch the factory workers. Hang out with a plumber, a school teacher, a doctor, a lawyer. Actually, hang out with these people. See how their real lives are. And then realize that these people are doing a pretty good job of taking care of themselves. Go back to Washington and say, look, still the greatest country on earth. Nothing to change here. If it ain't broke, don't freaking fix it. All right, let's go home now. I got to get back to my job because they shouldn't even make enough money doing this for this to be their job. Go back home and do their thing. Every few months, a couple times a year, go up there and say, all right, okay, do we want to go the route of the Bolsheviks? Does anyone think that's what would be good for our country? Heck no, get out of here. All in favor, aye. All in favor, nay. Nay. All right. Anything else on the agenda? Okay, let's make sure that our borders are well defended. Let's make sure that, we've got roads paved. Okay. All right, the states have got that covered. Okay, yep. Okay, cool. All right, let's go home again. We don't need those people there all the time. Some of the smartest people I see and meet every day are in real life. 7-year-olds, 24-year-olds, 80-year-olds, 60-year-olds. Doesn't matter. Some of the smartest people I meet in real life, like clearly smart people, they know what's going on. They found happiness in their life. Anytime I've got the stupid TV on and I'm watching these political debates, it's some of the stupid, most ignorant stuff I've ever heard of in my whole life. And it's kind of driving me nuts that everyone wants them to go back to Washington. No, don't go back to Washington. There's nothing for you there. There's nothing for you to do. Go back home. Protect the Constitution and go back home. If you hate our country so bad, you have that right too. That's what's beautiful about this country. Because you know what's crazy? People talk about the wall, right? Well, in a great country, a prosperous country, a freedom-loving country, walls keep bad people out. But in oppressive countries, walls keep people in. There is no wall around this country keeping people in. Anybody can leave whenever they want. And I'm not saying this to be sarcastic, and this has nothing to do with race. I don't care what color a person is. I'm just going to say this because, again, people have turned this into a racial thing, even though it's stupid because it's not, but it doesn't matter. A white person that is related to Christopher Columbus, okay? That's how long he's been here. This is the person I'm talking about. If he hates his country so bad and he wants to live in Finland, go to Finland. We're not keeping you here. You can do that. And that's what's great about this country. If you don't like this country, you don't have to be here. But if you do, why can't we have a little country for the rest of us that actually like this country? All these politicians run around and say this great country, and I'm going to protect you from the other side that's trying to destroy it. Well, what made it so great? Did it make it so great by doing it like how these people ran Russia? Was our country made great by how Mao ran China? Is that really what it was? No. Our country was made great because the people literally said we don't want to be subjects to the Queen anymore. We want to have a government by the people, of the people, because the people are smarter than the government. Everyone's always known this. Even in tyrannical governments, they know it. Why do you think they take away their guns? Why do they oppress them? Why do they starve them? Why do they do everything for them where they're so worried about working themselves to death in camps and for no wages, for food rations? Why? Because they're afraid of the people, because they've always known that we're smarter than them and can do a better job than, quote, the government. They all know this. The only difference is the way our government was formed and what our founding documents, our founding fathers actually were smart enough, okay, by the grace of God, to put it in writing and say, we acknowledge that people already have what they need in life to be happy, to be prosperous. God gave that to them just for being a human being, and we can't take it away. That's what the difference is. Our founding fathers were smart enough to realize it and tried to use our own sanctity, our own humanity, our own brains. They wanted us to use that for ourselves. Whereas tyrannical governments want to take that away from you. So they can take your money, they can take your labor, they can take everything away from you and put it in their pocket. So it's crazy, all these false things that they just create out of thin air just so they can save us from something that really has no effect on our life at all. Crooked Creek Shooting says, sing our national anthem in Hong Kong. Look, and here's the greatest thing about this country. I'm not here to tell you whether you want to live under communism, whether you want to live under tyranny. If you want to, you can, just not here. There's plenty of tyrannical places in this earth you can live on if you want. Will they let you in? I don't know. And if they don't let you in, then I guess they're the racist, bigoted one. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go live in Somalia right now and hang with the Somali pirates, and they accept me and that's what I want to do, great. If they kill me because I show up looking like I do, well, then that's their freaking problem. No one in the United States is keeping me from going there. That's my point. So I'm trying not to sit there and basically put restrictions on other people that I hate that they put on me. So I want to be pretty clear on that. I really don't want to prevent somebody from desiring communism. If they want it, go get it. Just not here. That's the big point. Not in this country. Because we've all seen the difference, and we know that freedom, that people being someone in control of their own destiny, people using their moral compass to guide them instead of a government code book that's this much is added to it every day, right? We know that that's a lot more beautiful world to live in. And it's amazing that we're founded on all these things, and they're all written down in this supposedly archaic document. But how come everyone in the world wants to come here for so bad, huh? How come both sides of the political aisle always refer to us as the greatest country in the world, right? But they want to try to turn us like the rest of the world. I just don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense at all. So, I mean, I do understand it. I'm just sarcastically saying I don't understand it because, I understand it. They just want the power. Because if I'm not under threat of something, if my life's going great, then why the heck do I need you to give me my money, right? Isn't that really all it comes down to is? They always want your money. Why do they want your money? Well, that you don't have to look too far for that. Because money in and itself isn't inherently evil. But when all you're worried about is money, that's kind of the epitome of evil. The good book itself says the love for money is the root of all evil. Not some, but all. So just look at that. There's nothing new here. Now, they always like us to forget these things, and they like to hide it and disguise it, because if they have nothing new to offer us, again, why are we going to buy their product? Every product you buy, new and improved, new formula. This is better than the last. Well, what if we already had it as good as it gets? You can't sell us nothing, right? You know what I'm saying? We see it every day in our life, but for some reason, when it comes politics time, when it comes time to vote, when it comes down to give people our power, to willingly relinquish our power to them, we always want to go for the best choice possible, right? The person that's going to take the least from us. The person that's going to trade this one for that one. What if I don't want to trade? What if I want to say whatever the heck I want? If I want to choose who can be quartered in my house or not? If I want to protect myself with whatever I want? What if I want it all? And it was already all given to me by God. What if that's the case? Well, then I guess there's nothing they can sell me, is there? Do you want to buy this life jacket, sir? No, thanks. I already know how to swim. Oh, man. Do you want to be allowed to speak? No, thanks. I can already speak. Do you want to vote for me to be allowed to own this gun? No, thanks. I already own the ones I need. Huh. You can go down this list just for a short period of time. It doesn't take very long. And then the obvious conclusion is, well, I don't need you for anything. You don't have a job. And they're like, oh, well, if I don't have a job, how am I going to get bribes? How am I going to be able to go on the, private jet plane and be a pedophile? How can I do all that? This is what goes on. I mean, it's sad. It's really sad. I'm not laughing because it's funny. The things I just said aren't funny at all. The only thing that's kind of funny is the fact that somehow so many people in this country buy into that. Like, how about this? A guy literally lights a fire and you know, lights something on fire, lights your house on fire, and then says for a fee, I'll put it out. And then we worship him as a hero because they put the fire out. And we were so stupid, we didn't even notice they were the ones that lit the match and started it. How about this? Stay off my property, keep your matches away from my house, and no thanks, I don't need your services anymore. Well, again, money. Okay, yep. Mateo has a good one. So this is like an ism, right? We can call it Talib-ism, because isms are always a thing, right? You know, communism, socialism. So here's Talib-ism. He's basically saying we need to rename that desire to turn this country into a shithole country that their native country is, and we can call that a Talib-ism. So if you want to turn this into the crappiest place on earth, squadism, that's another good one. Like I said, you guys come up with some good ones in here. And look, I'm not saying my rants are focused, but for me to even coherently go on my little things here, sometimes I don't read the comments. But I usually do go back and read them later, and yeah. If you guys really need me to see something, though, don't forget to do @GlockShooter79 like Mateo did. I think Pound Glock Shooter 79 does it too. I'm not sure. Then it's in orange. I can see it a lot easier. See, super chat's even easier, but I'm not asking for those. But hey, look, guys, if you guys do, I know, look, I don't care. I don't care what you guys say. I think e-begging is a freaking retarded thing. Anyone that says the word e-begging, screw you. You don't think that people should be able to give somebody a tip, or that people might want to provide more for their channel? So I'm not going to apologize if people want to call it e-begging. That's just a whole nother topic. I hate that. But what I was getting at is this. I am trying to do a little more with the channel. I would like to get it to where I can take a camera out on the range and have one of those little, you know, receivers that you clip to your back with the microphone, so you don't have to be, you know, literally sitting in front of it. Things like that. I'm taking new people to shoot. It seems like a lot of you guys enjoyed the first video in the series that my friend Rachel and I are doing. Not that it costs a lot of money, and look, I do it anyways. I do it anyways because I like teaching people to shoot and all that, but I do spend some money on this channel. So a couple of you guys are Patreon supporters. I appreciate it. If any of you guys have an extra $1 or $5, I could use it, just because I put tons of my own money, as small as this channel is in, and I never wanted to make a living doing this, but it helps a little bit. So if anyone wants to help me out, I do appreciate it. The super chats are awesome too. I think YouTube takes a little bigger percentage of a super chat than Patreon does. And I don't like everything about Patreon either. That's a whole other talk for another night. But I don't like YouTube either. But here's the problem. If I just stand on the ground that I don't like, so I won't do it at all, well, then we wouldn't be able to do anything, okay? So that's the problem. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And look, I've been going around town here, you know, talking to my guy friends, talking to my girlfriends. And I mean girlfriends like friend as in they're a girl. Like, I'm happily married, guys. My best friend's my wife, but she's, you know, with our daughter a lot, and she you know, has a job, and she's really busy. And I've been trying to get people to, hey, I want someone to come shooting with me. Was kind of been talking to a little bit younger people lately that are kind of part of that millennial generation and stuff. I'm finding they're more open-minded than most people my age, right? So I put my feelers out, ask guys, ask girls. No one really told me screw you, but they're kind of like, I don't know. Maybe sometime. You know, they're nervous, whatever. They don't know. They're afraid, whatever. And I know Rachel through other means, and I said, hey, you know, she's a really creative person. She's really smart, and, you know, she's pretty cool. And I was like, hey, do you want to do some YouTube videos with me? Because you're pretty open-minded, and you don't know much about guns. I can literally try to teach you to, maybe she'll get a good hobby. You know, maybe she'll be able to defend herself someday, whatever. And again, just teaching someone new to shoot. So yeah, that's why Rachel's doing the videos with me. She's had a great time. I know she popped into the last video I put up yesterday and was saying hi to many of you guys and hanging out and stuff. And I did invite her to the stream tonight, but look, she, to pop in the chat, but look, she works 2 jobs. She's busy. And like I said, I'm inviting more people out. I love to take people shooting. I like to have somebody else that's on camera just because you can kind of bounce stuff back and forth. And look, there's going to be more videos coming out of me and her sitting there talking. And it was totally unscripted, like literally unscripted, okay? Like this will give you guys, this is so funny. So we're sitting there in that video, right? And I said, so are you aware? Because I said, what do you know about the AR-15? She said, not much. Okay. Is it considered scary and all that? She said, yeah, like the AK. I never even mentioned to her the AK. Look, her and I know each other, but she's not like been following the channel enough to know that I'm a huge AK guy. So that wasn't like a thing. Like she literally just said that. And that's what's so cool about having somebody like that do the videos is because, look, this is why I said she's so smart, by the way, earlier. Her mind's open enough where she's not gotten so brainwashed by the left or the right. She's just like, you know what? I don't really have time to watch the news. I'm too busy working. It's a good American right there. Someone too busy doing their own contributions to society to have time to screw around with the news. I hate to say it because we do need to be involved too. It's a fine line, but there's kind of some bliss in that. Literally, I don't follow this stupid crap. Well, guess what? She's in her young 20s. She's a female. She should hate guns, right? She doesn't. So we're just going to see, go through and do the whole, here's an AR-15, blah, blah, blah. But I thought that was funny because immediately she's like, or the AK? See, people hear stuff, but the smart people can keep their mind open enough to decide for themselves, And so anyways, this whole series we're going to do is completely unscripted. It's literally us sitting there talking how I talk to you guys because in case you can't tell, and I know you guys can tell because you guys are pretty smart, all my streams are unscripted. My videos are unscripted. If I'm referencing a letter or a news article, I make that known. I mean, I reference, but there's never been a script. So it wasn't like, hey, when I say this, you say that. And then when you say, no, none of that at all. And you guys are, mark what I just said. Take a mental note of that. Because as more of these videos come out that we filmed, she's going to say some things that brought up excellent topics and they were not scripted at all. So that's why in some regards, it's great to have somebody like her out on the range. You can actually get better content and a better dialogue than if Mateo was sitting next to me. Now, there's other conversations that would be better with me and Mateo, but you guys know what I'm saying, right? Like that raw thing. And it makes me think to myself, like, well, okay, there's probably like many, many, many other people out there that have the same questions. And maybe they'll run into the channel and they'll say, well, hold on. There's this younger person that kind of looks like me, knows nothing like me, blah, blah, blah. And they found the right person to, that they trusted enough and they got together and learned from. Maybe I could do the same thing. So that's kind of where I'm heading with that. There's a reason that's the reason that specifically I was so excited to have her on the channel because she's a demographic that is going to appeal to other people that aren't the middle-aged 40-year-old guys so that another millennial can be like, well, look, I mean, this person that's kind of in my age group and stuff is cool with it. It's not just a guy thing. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm laughing at you guys' comments. And it's kind of funny. Yeah, she's really pretty. Okay, I get that. But that's not my intentions. That has nothing to do with it at all, to be honest with you. Just somebody that's cool enough, that's smart enough to actually have a decent conversation with, that kind of gives the other side of the coin instead of the whole, like, it's fun to preach to the choir, but if you're only preaching to the choir, it can just get kind of to where, hey, the gene pool stays a little small. We got to spread the news out to other people. Let them know that these are just inanimate objects. They have no feelings. They're neither good nor bad. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about the bad guy's feelings. And they make a great sport for some people, meat on the table for some people, protecting their family, protecting their liberty, blah, blah, blah. So, but if nobody, here's the thing, just because somebody likes shooting a gun doesn't mean they're Second Amendment. But I will tell you this, it's hard for someone to be pro 2A if they've never even shot a gun before. Because until they've ever even shot it, they have no choice but to, even if they don't watch a lot of news and TV, they still have no choice but to kind of get their stuff from TV or maybe a friend of theirs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think it's good for us people that, you know, can responsibly do it. Teach someone a skill that they can use to protect themselves, a great hobby so they can have fun, etc. And I'm not an expert and don't present myself like an expert. And that's why, like I said, you know, I like to do my videos more where it's hanging out just with regular people. So, Michael Green, what's happening? Oh, we got Pex 2A in here. How's it going, man? How you doing? Pex has another nice channel. He'll sit on his front porch. There's so many gun channels. It's like, you know, I'm kind of embarrassed. Like, where have I been this whole time? I just found him like a week ago and I subbed to his channel. I'm a rather new sub, but from what I've seen so far, he likes to sit on his porch and talk about gun rights and a lot of the stuff I do. So probably everyone's heard of him but me, but if you haven't, go check him out. I'm taking a quick peek here. Ooh, Orion says, seeing how the Earth is flat now, maybe Mexico can add salt so they fall off. Is that how that would work? Or would they fall off and then gravity would suck them right back and then they'd be on top of us or above us? I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of what I like about what I've seen of your channel, Pex 2A. And again, I'm just being honest. There's no reason for that. I'm a new subscriber. Just watched a couple of your videos so far, but I like a guy that just sits there on the porch and keeps it real and talks about stuff. That's kind of my thing, you know, too. I like that. Not really too many true people around here that'll, you know, that are either Second Amendment. I mean, I know some Second Amendment people around here. I really do. But they don't want to do a video. They don't want to do a video. So, kind of excited. I finally got somebody in the last couple days that would do videos with me. So I don't feel like such a reject around here anymore. Okay. These guys are all from Illinois. All right. Cool. Looks like you guys have met up with each other. See, there's nobody around here. Is there even another YouTuber around here? Like, I don't know anybody. The one guy they all say is from Michigan. I sent him a message and said, hey, are you from Southeastern Michigan? Didn't even respond to me. So he's the only guy that I've ever been told that lives around here. Another YouTuber. He's in northern Indiana. He's like 2 hours from me, 2.5, depending. Called him. Even talked to his assistant. Do you guys want to do a video? Yeah. Haven't heard back. So, not a lot of guys really like to. Not really a lot of guys like to do this, man. And here's the thing: maybe guys really do. It's just not with me, and I get it. That's cool. If nobody likes me, that's fine. And I'm being sarcastic and truthful at the same time. But no, there's really just not many true. I mean, let's put it this way. Michigan's not like a super libtard state. Yeah, we got a Democrat governor right now. Before that, we had a Republican. Our state legislature, our representatives and our Senate is Republican controlled. So I don't want to put us on the map as a libtard state because that's not exactly what it is, although we're very borderline. It's just there's no gun YouTubers on here. And there's some guys that'll sit there and talk all day long about 2A, but they won't get in front of the camera. Then there's other people that will get in front of the camera, but they're not really into anything I am. And again, God bless her. Rachel was willing to come on and actually hang out with me on camera. So Michael Science says, looks like we need to take a road trip to Michigan. Hey, we're all so busy, but if it's possible, it would be fun. It would be fun. And thanks, man. I appreciate the offer, man. I really do. Detroit Prepper, he's not going to be too far. And okay, it's the gender thing. Mateo says, look, whatever. I get it. If people don't like red hair, I'm not attracted to redheads. Redhead girls, never been my thing. My wife's a brunette. Like I said earlier, you know, that choice between a blonde and a brunette, redhead, no, just brunette all the way for me. My wife's a brunette, so. Fully focused, tailor-made. You don't mean Taylor Tucky, do you? Because he said tailor-made. If he's talking Taylor Tucky, I do know where that's at. I know some of the viewers are from Michigan. And some people give me a hard time before. They're like, why don't you get on the big hangouts where there's 4 or 5 people? I don't know. It's kind of not my thing. It's weird. A lot of those where there's a bunch of people, I've called them circle jerks in the past. But there's a lot of them where there's awesome people on them too. There's both, okay? There really are. But yeah, I like to do videos with people. I'd like to have somebody sit here. I have another chair exactly like this, so they're the same height. I sit here, they could sit right there, and we could. I mean, this is a little bit of a studio. As much as here, it's, you know. Look, if I wanted to have a green screen, I would, guys. I just leave my shop how it is. Some people kind of like it, so they can play Where's Waldo, and I'm just keeping it real. A green screen's not expensive. I can put it right behind me, but I don't want that because I'm just a regular guy, a regular working man's channel, and most of the guys I hang out with in here, you guys all work at shops and factories and a lot of manual laborers and whatnot. And if you're an office worker, that's great too, because I've been on that side of it too. So I've done both. Let's see here. Missouri, I've never been there, but thanks for the offer, man. Oh, that'd be pretty cool too. An unnamed theme park. Nice. Crooked Creek Shooting says, I like the smaller lives better. Easier to keep up with everything. Lives. Do you mean channels or? Yeah, that's Mateo's name for the for some of the ones that are circle jerks. Like, okay, who here has a Glock? Me. Then the next guy. I do too, but mine's better. Mine's more betterer. Mine's more betterer. What? He's got a G2C? What the heck? How did you guys let him in here? How did you guys let a guy with a G2C in here? Now hold on a minute. You don't love your family enough. What? You don't love your family enough because if you only have a G2C to protect your family, you don't love your family as much as I do. Oh, geez, what kind of adapter do you have on your Glock? Well, I have the Shockwave. Oh, you suck. I've got the SBA3. No, you suck even worse than that. I've got an SBR Glock. You guys know some of those. And then, look, it's not that I hate the people, but I hate some of those stupid streams. I hate them, you know. It's like, oh, my gosh, guys, just stop. They just sit there and keep who can brag over the other one, and they want to condemn everyone else. And then the one guy, you know, that poses in his thumbnails with his. Yeah. Anyways. I won't start that this late at night because I've already been on here over 2 hours. What were you guys asking me about? You missed I'm trying to figure out what you guys are talking about here. Missed the Georgia Shooting Connection tonight. Every Friday night, 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. I gotcha. Sounds like that's before I go on. But hey, if that's a better stream than mine, go there too. I really don't care. I'm just not familiar exactly with that channel. Look, I get around the gun channels quite a bit, but I'm not a reloader, so I don't really go into those as much. Even though I think it's interesting, I just don't do it. Let me see here. I'm about ready to wrap it up, guys. I've had fun tonight. Time's flown by. Like, wow. And I would like to maybe meet up with some of you guys someday. You know, Richard Hughes has been inviting me to the Creator Summit. I'm kind of still wishy-washy, but that's just based on, you know, self-employed, trying to make ends meet, crappy spring. Remember, it was raining all the time. I was complaining to you guys, couldn't make any money. But I do want to go there. I don't know if any of you guys are going to the Creator Summit. Yeah. So any more questions real quick, guys, let me know. I'm getting ready to sign off here. More videos coming soon. I've got a couple SKS videos planned out, ready to go. I have a new Taurus gun I'm going to be introducing soon. And more with my teaching Ray to Shoot series. We already have quite a bit of pre-recorded content for that. I'm going to be putting those out. Instead of one huge video, I'm putting them out in smaller blocks because I've realized unless it's a super geeky topic where people want to sit there and nerd out for an hour, most of you, I'd rather have the videos under 10 minutes. So I kind of split it down. I split down like, you know, a longer conversation. I did a AK parts kit video the other day. I did that for an hour. Not a lot of views on it, but that's fine because the people that are into it wanted that full hour where they could really nerd out on it. So I do like to do some of that on my channel. I realize that's not for everybody, but general content, I try to keep it down a little bit, you know, and then I'll say screw it and do like a long 20-minute one, but whatever. So plan on having some more range time videos and whatnot. Like I said, new Taurus here. And yeah, that should get us through to next week. And maybe, I don't know when, because everyone's busy, but maybe I'll be able to get a very special guest to come in. And like I said, there's room for 2 chairs here. I've got, it might not look like it, but I've got quite the lighting up here. So in my little studio, maybe I can get a chair right next to me and you guys can do a Q&A with me and a very special guest soon. I don't want to promise it because anytime you promise anything, it doesn't happen, but I think I might have the hookup for that. So hopefully I will be able to finally have a guest on here. None of the YouTubers will do it. I get that. The famous YouTubers, they won't talk to me. But I can find someone cooler than that, I think, to make a live in-studio appearance. All right. Looks like you guys are all cool. Past your bedtimes. All right. All right, guys. I had fun tonight. I will see you guys in some more videos soon, and see you guys next Friday. Till then, take it easy and have a good one.